Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice and it's by user Deleted. My 24 male girlfriend, 24 female, is unusually buying new bras and panties. Over the last 2.5 weeks, my girlfriend has bought close to 9 new pairs of lingerie. This is unusual because she bought some 7 new pairs close to 4 weeks ago. Now, I don't mind a girl buying new lingerie, but this is unusual. She had close to 40 new pairs of lingerie, a count which keeps on decreasing every other day. Now, I take out the trash every single day, and I've observed that she hasn't thrown her old lingerie in the trash over the past week, while there's no trace of it anywhere in our apartment, and yet she is missing 4 to 5 pairs from our common closet. She seems to act pretty normal, there's no dent in her daily routine, but it boggles me. Why is she on this lingerie shopping spree? It's not like she is amassing a stockpile of lingerie. Her lingerie count is somewhat unchanged from the time before this madness. I couldn't find a trace of her old lingerie. Am I being paranoid? Am I missing something here feminine that's otherwise normal? Should I ask her anything about it? Well, OP, from the way you present it, yeah, there's something weird about this. However, if you haven't spoken to her about it, maybe you should just ask her in a nonchalant way, like, hey, I've noticed that your lingerie is disappearing. Do you know what's going on? Or something along those lines. I don't know, maybe you can even sleuth it even more. Now, if you don't get a proper response or information from that interaction, I would assume there's 3 plausible explanations for it. 1, she's got a medical condition, but I think if you'd asked, she'd tell you, hopefully. 2, she's selling them online. I mean, they have to go somewhere, and if they're not going in the trash and they're not in your house, then somebody has them. Or 3, she's cheating on you and she's just leaving lingerie in the other guy's house. Of course, I could absolutely be wrong about all 3, but I'm gonna lean in more to number 2 or 3. Those are the ones that I would think might be going on here. And what about you guys? How would you explain this change in attitude and this lingerie disappearing? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Fight Max Master says, quote, "But it boggles me why she's on this lingerie shopping spree," end quote. Have you tried asking her? And OP responds, "I did casually ask her a few nights ago, hey, wear that bunny-like orange bra that I crave for." Okay, don't take that verbatim. And she ignored to answer my question. That's the only time I asked her about something. She looked incredibly sexy when we were in the mood. Slow Pleb says, she may have found out that lingerie shopping is addictive, like shoe shopping is for some women. I know I have 1 million pairs and counting, and this is only a recent addiction in the last few years. Kinsey the Freak says, 24 female here, I've got to be honest. Reading the first part of this red flagged as cheating for me. Not saying it is, but in past relationships, when the relationship is new, I like to buy new undies and bras. Something about wearing something for them that no one else has seen? I don't know. But her throwing them away at work seems so odd to me. I feel like that's not something most women would do. I'm not saying it's completely out of the question, but generally, I know exactly what underwear in my dresser are comfortable or uncomfortable. I would have no issue going through right now and throwing away what I don't like. I wouldn't wear them to work and change at work and throw them away. That seems so strange to me. And OP responds, is there a better way to ask her again, or rather tell her that I find it strange that she's been disposing of it at her workplace? I alternately thought it might have to do something with her menstrual cycle or period, and it might be incredibly offensive to ask her more about it if that might have been the reason. Alright, now those were the first few comments that OP got from the community because OP started live updating this post and it became huge. So I took all of those updates and set them up in a linear way so it would be easier for you guys to understand as I'm reading them. So without further ado, let's continue with OP's update parade. Alright, I chatted with her while driving. I started off by asking her directly, as some of you suggested. She said something like she hasn't been feeling good about her underwear fitting, old and new, while at work, so she has taken a new vow. If she finds any underwear incredibly uncomfortable, she will throw it off immediately. I told her I hadn't noticed any in our trash, maintaining my casual tone. And she said since we spend most of our daytime at work, she disposes of it in her workplace bin and carries a pair of change underwear like most women do. I then said to her jokingly, "Oh, I was worried you were selling your undies on eBay or something," just to get some kind of an answer, and she oohed my remark. Do women do that at work or get rid of their old undies when they find it uncomfortable like this? To be honest, we moved together at the beginning of this year, and this is the first time I've moved in with a girl in a relationship. I don't know what else I could do, since she has made it clear she drops it off at work trash and has shown no intention or fetish to sell it online. But overall, I tried to make this conversation as just out of curiosity as I could. Honestly, most guys here have suggested that she might be selling it to other random dudes, which is too far-fetched for someone like her. The more I read those comments, the more I feel like I should check if that's true, in spite of her ewing away to my remark made earlier today. I'm going to call her during the lunch break to talk over things. I honestly don't know the case of missing undies, but I do know that her workplace has this gym in the building with a shower room for women. I think she might be using that, at my best guess. But yeah, it would be a bit trashy to drop someone's personal clothing at work. I assumed maybe she had some kind of period mishap. Again, I'm not sure about it. Not sure if she has bought it online. She usually goes shopping with her sister at a mall nearby. This is way too overwhelming. I'm heading back home and taking a day off. I know I might be overreacting, but somehow it just doesn't sound right. The conversation we had an hour ago, I might talk to her again during her lunch break. Update 2. Seriously guys, thank you. I have been glued to my phone all morning, except driving back home. It took me a lot of self-convincing to gather clues for the possibility that my girlfriend might be selling it online. Back at home, we have a place to archive open mail, receipts, bills, and other important documents except for our social and other personal items. There were 6 receipts in total, 2 from Victoria's Secret, 3 from Target, and 1 from Macy's. Against my rough counting, she had amassed some 28 to 30 pairs of new lingerie, including the one from 4 weeks ago. 2 of these receipts had Karen's name on them, my girlfriend's elder sister. I believe Karen has some kind of rewards card from Victoria's Secret. That itself accounts for 40% of her new purchases. Till now, I thought she probably purchased 15 pairs, give or take. I don't want to invade her privacy by sneaking her bank statements because that would be a bit over the line. But I cannot believe that she spent $1,100+ on lingerie over the past 45 days. That by itself is so effing unusual. I think she could have written $1,100 off as miscellaneous expenses after paying for rent, bills, student loans, groceries, and other monthly expenses. Honestly, I haven't paid much attention to her shopping habits during our 3-year relationship period. Her credit card debt level is normal. It's also odd that she hasn't paid using our Red card at Target. We have the Target app on our phones. I don't know if it would be right to log into her laptop and see her browsing history to confirm if she's selling her underwear online. I am just numbed at the moment. Also, I called my brother over to get some clarity, and after talking to him and reading more of your comments, I've decided to confront her in person when she's back home. I don't want to take any chances or let any form of miscommunication trigger chain reactions for questions that might be unwarranted to her. Opie's Update 3. You know you have one of those days when all hell breaks loose, and this was one for me. I skipped a lunch break phone call in hopes I could talk to my girlfriend when she got back home. I spoke to her sister Karen and her mom in the meantime to ensure that she isn't in some kind of financial mess or other kind of trouble. But it takes one effing truth to destroy it all. You guys, my girlfriend saw this post at work, and she immediately knew it was me posting it here. I didn't realize this, leaving the rest of her day off. Some 4 hours ago, my girlfriend confessed that she had been sleeping with some guy she met at her work gym for about 8 weeks now. F me. She met this guy at her work gym some 8 months ago. This guy is not even from her workplace. He works at this other startup in a different building of this corporate park. She said things got all heated up like 3 months ago after one afternoon. I effing thought she stopped going to the gym owing to her hectic schedule after her promotion late last year. But there she was, going to the gym all along. The day she started sleeping with this guy, she told her coworker she had switched gyms across the street. I haven't even cared to ask where they did it. The missing underwear, this is so messed up, sick. She had this realization last month that this was wrong. Duh. I don't know why I never saw this side of her, but she began buying new underwear and throwing it off as some effing guilt ritual. She said she couldn't get off that guilt of wearing the same underwear in bed with me as she had worn hours earlier sleeping with that mother effer. Do you know how disgusting that feels? Who effing does this? Throw underwear because you want to dust off guilt from having it worn during sex with a guy you've met and barely known? I was standing still, but I held up for the moment. She says she was confused and that she has backed away from this guy's advances for the past week. I don't believe any word of it. In fact, I don't think I want to believe what she said. Also, the tossing her underwear at the workplace was an excuse. Yes, because back then I was driving and she didn't know how to react or what to say, so she made that excuse up. And here I was, worrying the whole day about what it could be. I later called Karen because we were both emotionally drained. I didn't even wait a bit after she arrived. Even Karen was shocked by the ramble. She later called me because I had already left them in our apartment. It took me a while to get my thinking right and call my brother. I'll be crashing at his house for now. Honestly, I don't even want to see her face ever. How can someone lie so perfectly? How can someone be so cold that they show no emotional change or discomfort when sleeping with two people? What the F? She slept with me hours after she slept with that idiot? Throwing underwear was her means to get over that guilt. I don't understand her anymore. When she said it was all carnal, I didn't even know she believed in the notion of sleeping around with people for physical needs. She said she still loved me, and this was just something that made her feel good. I don't even know how to interpret that. Honestly, I think my thoughts are all over the place, but thank you. I don't know if I could have known about this if it wasn't for this post. It was after dinner that I realized that it was trending on this sub, and this post made her take the midday train back home. I have so many questions. Part of me wants to see her again just to make sure she is alright. Part of me doesn't want to see her ever again. Go with that one, OP. I had so many questions, but I just avoided her by walking downstairs in no time. I had to ask my brother and his wife to pick some stuff up from home. Crap, this is all messed up. And there you have it. Those are all the initial updates from the live updating that OP did. He found out in a day because his post started to trend. His ex-girlfriend saw it. Hopefully ex-girlfriend, we don't know yet, saw it, and then she came up with the whole thing. So now it's time that we move on to the final update to see what happened next and how the story ends. But of course, before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now let's move on to that final update. I have taken a sick leave today. I just wanted to say a huge thanks to the people who have commented on my post. I wanted to let you guys know that I have read each and every comment up until late last night. If it weren't for your awesome responses, I would have never even dared to ask her about her behavior in the first place, or she would have never come back home early to confront me about this after viewing that post on Reddit. I was able to get some sleep. Yes, I'm at my brother's place while she is staying with Karen. Karen reached out to me late last night and asked if we could meet early morning at a coffee shop and chat, so I did. We talked a lot about what happened yesterday, since she partly confided in Karen about why she did what she did. She said she doesn't know why she began sleeping with this guy in the first place. It just happened. Well, that explains it. She feels terribly sorry for what she did to me and hopes we can work things out. She had already broken up with that guy a week ago. She felt it was wrong and there was no excuse for it. She asked Karen to buy stuff from Victoria's Secret using Karen's credit card because she felt it would be awkward to explain it to me if we were to review her finances. We used to do that together to cut her expenses and pay up aggressively toward her student loans. She claimed that sex with this guy was completely carnal and that there were no feelings or affection involved. She said she got lured by this because her new responsibilities were way too overwhelming for her. But again, she maintained that she didn't know why she started sleeping with this guy in the first place. I don't think I want to know who this guy is or whether it was him or her who made the first move. Thinking about it is so effing depressive. I should have noticed how she was able to maintain her lean figure in spite of quitting the gym late last year. That being said, I still don't understand what must have made her impulsively sleep with that guy and jeopardize our relationship in the first place. I have been trying to assess if I could have picked up any cues that are otherwise typical of a cheater, and it's so strange that she didn't have any of those characteristics. I mean, the fact that she confessed she was able to convince her co-workers that she goes to the gym across the street instead of using the free gym at her workplace by itself is so infuriating. I don't think I would have ever doubted her cheating on me because you don't see those cliché staying late after work or texting someone constantly symptoms when she was around at home. Karen also said that even she couldn't truly understand what was going on in her head, though she did disclose that my girlfriend once cheated on a guy as a teenager back in high school and things turned out ugly back then. I was a bit surprised since I didn't know this before. We both knew our relationship and or dating history midway in our relationship, but not this. That was quite a long time ago, and by the way, Karen is a sweet lady. She even wrote each of us a letter before we moved in together. Anyway, I truly appreciated your responses. I would have dragged this thing for days or even weeks getting more and more worried and obsessed about my girlfriend's behavior. See, when you move in together, no one ever tells you what boundaries to set and what things to avoid. I think I made a mistake there. Maybe I should have checked on her time and again to see if something had been bothering her at work. I think the first time living with someone that isn't your parents or drunk dudes back from college is always awkward and wonderful at the same time. When you are new in a relationship or have upped your relationship status, you tend to worry more about getting the dynamic of the relationship or new arrangement right, instead of worrying about the feelings of that person. I expected that we might get bored of each other one day as we grew older, and I might end up buying scented candles at Target to spice things up, but not this. When she was drained back from work after her promotion, I seriously thought it would be better if I gave her own time and did not bring work talk during dinners or when we hung out together. Little did I realize that this could have made her look for comfort elsewhere. I can also affirm that I have been around her as long as she needed me, but I guess we were both busy complimenting each other in our apartment by who gets to do what to upkeep of our surroundings, groceries, and social responsibilities, instead of just being in the moment and listening to one another. I just picked up my car and got off from my meeting with Karen at the coffee shop. I have the remainder of this week all to myself. While my brother and his wife have been incredibly supportive, I thought of getting myself checked in with the first available counselor, even if that's just one time. I haven't told any of my friends or coworkers about it. She tried to contact me, but I ignored her calls and later texted, "I'll talk when I'll call." Honestly, I don't think I'm even gonna talk to her, but moving on from her will be hard. I don't feel exactly the same for her as I did yesterday. I thought I still cared for her last night, but that gradually got replaced with rage and nausea even when I think about her. I'm going to get myself checked for anything fishy. Also, my counselor had already read my previous post before I had even checked into her office late afternoon yesterday. She referred to me as, "You're the guy who posted about his girlfriend's lingerie behavior, right? A few minutes into our session." Man, it seems everyone on Reddit just likes to lurk on this sub. I'm okay though, feeling better, just a bit insomniac. And regarding our home, I spoke to the leasing office and they said under the circumstances I can terminate the lease and pay rent until they find a new occupant. I think I'll be fine from a financial standpoint. I have been living frugally and saved for a while. Well, OP, you've been through hell in just 2 days, and I gotta say, hopefully you do not get back together with her, you do not talk to her, you just ghost her. There's no explanation, no excuse. She cheated. Instead of going to you when she was upset, she cheated. So don't do this self-gaslighting thing that you're doing, that it's all your fault because you didn't check in with her. Sure, you could have asked her how's work, you could have been a bit more supportive, fine, but this is not your fault. She's the one that decided to deal with her stress or whatever by sleeping with somebody else. So here's wishing the best for you in the future, OP. Take care and thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.